Hello everyone, you welcome to this news hour on Equinoxe television live from my headquarters in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. I am Bartlett Jonathan. On this day in 2016, at least 70 persons died in a train accident in Ezeka in the central region of the Republic of Cameroon, and 5 years after the government of the Republic is yet to fulfill its promises vis-a-vis inhabitants of Ezeka, the locality, and victims of that train accident. And months after the start of the 2021-2022 academic year, several schools remain closed in the northwest and southwest regions of the country, and municipal authorities are now striving to increase school enrollment and to ensure that schools that are still closed get open. Stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. We begin this newscast on this sad story concerning the mysterious death of a barber and a storekeeper. That is an incident that occurred in the locality of Buda in this west region of the Republic of Cameroon, and of course that incident has brought a lot of worries to the population, as Manjikan Gabriel reports.
Of 12-year-old Miranda is still in shock after the mysterious departure of their daughter. Little Miranda, who now lies in her grave peacefully, family members say died after consuming bread and chocolate offered to her by a certain barber named Alexandre. But how did this happen? Before the child went to school, we gave her 100 francs to shave her hair. When she arrived at the salon, the barber said they will have to tap energy from his motorcycle, but our daughter denied. This was after the child had given him the money. The little Miranda will later go back to the barber to collect her money, but again, the barber says he doesn't have 100 francs, so he decided to pay for bread and chocolate. The storekeeper then served the bread, and later the barber gave another 100 francs for chocolate to be put in the bread. When the child returned home after consuming the bread, she dropped down. On that blessed day, before the child went to school, the family confirmed she was doing very well. I took my kid sister to school that day, and she was fine. It was only when I returned that I met my kid sister, crying that her neck was paining. She said maybe it is the bread that Alexandre gave her. While the little Miranda cried of pains, she was also manifesting. She sees Alexandre has tied her neck with a chain and is pulling it. We couldn't really understand her. It was with pains that Miranda finally died, but since she died, her friend with whom she ate the bread, Belvani, is still in a coma at the Buda Protestant Hospital. All medical tests have been done on her, but still doctors are yet to find anything wrong with her. Before going into a trance, we were told Belvani was blind for some few moments, and every midnight she starts manifesting just like Miranda did, calling the name of the barber. An autopsy that was made on little Miranda before she died is with the State Council, and the family is yet to get the results. The two suspects, the storekeeper alongside the barber Alexandre, are in gendarme custody as investigation continue to find out if what happened to the kids was poisoning or witchcraft.
A 12-year-old child dead in mysterious circumstances, and not the barber and the storekeepers earlier indicated. The latter as suspects, and they are now behind bars at the Gendarmerie Brigade in Buda in the west region of the Republic of Cameroon. Thank you, Smarji Kankebe, for that report. Now, still talking about deaths, at least 2,000 persons die in Cameroon annually of breast cancer. And in the report coming up next, Immaculate Fogwe now looks at efforts to bring down the curve.
Out of the 25,000 cases of breast cancer diagnosed in Cameroon every year, more than 2,000 women have died battling the disease. Health experts blame the high mortality rate on late detection and treatment of the disease.
Ça reste un cancer qui monte, qui atteint les femmes de plus en plus jeunes.
Cancer, excessive consumption of alcohol, tobacco, and poor feeding habits are some of the major causes of breast cancer. The issue now is women do not pay attention to the first signs. Self-breast examination and clinical examination is very necessary. In Cameroon, 1 to 3% of men are suffering with breast cancer, but women are at high risk of developing the disease, given the fact that breast cancer treatment is becoming very expensive, and as such, patients sometimes become overwhelmed with a financial burden which compels them to default treatment and resort to unproven remedies. Health experts say there is a need for stakeholders to recommit their efforts to fight against the disease in the country. Breast cancer affects Cameroonians as young as 20 years old, but generally common among older women, with majority of cases being between 40 to 49 years old. The Breast Cancer Awareness Month, also known as Pink October, is commemorated annually in October. It is for this reason that the Lions Club Douala Paradise, in collaboration with Rotary Madiba, organized a campaign to sensitize the public on the importance of early diagnosis and treatment.
On this day, October 21st, in 2016, Cameroon lost at least 70 persons, according to official figures, in a train accident in Ezeka, in the central region of the country. And after 5 years after that incident, the government of the Republic is yet to fulfill some promises it made vis-a-vis the population of Ezeka, the locality of Ezeka, and victims of that train accident. We'll be coming back to that report in the course of this newscast. Time for us to go over to the northwest region of the country, where many schools have remained closed months after the 2021-2022 academic year started. And in the Bamenda 2 municipality, municipal authorities are now striving to boost school enrollments and also to ensure that the schools that are still closed get operational. Details in this report by Mala Glory. Malaglory. With
more than a month after the start of the school year, the pupils of the Northwest have barely made 2 weeks of classes because of the series of ghost towns imposed by the separatist fighters. In the municipality of Bamenda 2 today, 16 primary schools have actually opened their doors while 10 are still closed. The insecurity and the socio-political climate in the region is the cause of this situation. To encourage the effectiveness of the school in his municipality, the Mayor Chinwe Peter of the Bamenda 2 Council distributed educational and didactic materials to the head teachers of the operational primary schools of his municipality. He encouraged other schools still closed to follow in the footsteps of operational schools.
I'm ready to assist at any given moment. We will update these materials so far as we confirm that the schools are functioning properly. The inspector is here, I was just told her. And this is instruction from the hierarchy we have to give, and then we'll also go through those schools. We will verify the functionality of those schools. The other ones that are not functioning, we'll keep encouraging to make sure that they pick up gradually.
Some schools are functional, some schools are not functional. The blame does not go to anybody. We all know what is happening. So we are saying that we do thank the Lord Mayor for the initiative and for being timely. Even though the material also complained, it's insufficient. It's insufficient.
The mayor explains that school is a capital industry in the Northwest region. He calls for the proper use of the teaching materials given to the schools.
The Bishop of Boyas told the Secretary General at Presidency of the Republic of Cameroon, Minister Ferdinand Gongo, that the incident of last Thursday, which resulted to the death of a pupil, should not happen again. And he was telling him this while he was on a walking visit to the southwest region of the country. And the Bishop of Boya, Michael Bibi, was telling the Secretary General of the Presidency of the Republic to contribute, to put his hand on the deck together with all the authorities in Yaoundé to make sure that the Anglophone crisis comes to an end. Jerry Jato reports.
1 week after the 5-year-old Enojale Carolis, a Class 1 pupil of Catholic Primary School Boya, was shot and killed on her way to school, the Minister of State, Secretary General at the Cameroon Presidency, Ferdinand Gongo, is in the Southwest region. He is sent by President Paul Biya, where he met Bishop Michael Bibi, the Bishop of the Diocese of Boya, and the family members of late Enojale Carolis, to extend the condolence message of the nation.
It could happen, but sending his son to come and represent him and to condole with the family, the bereaved family, even the parents were even alert. They said they even lack words to send back to the head. So all of us felt it, and we knew that it's really a father.
And ideas were also exchanged on how to preempt such incident from repeating itself.
I told him, when I told him that this should not happen again, he actually mentioned that they are doing everything in their powers to make sure that this does not happen again. Then that is our prayer, that is our wish, and we just pray and hope that situations like this do not come up again. Because
as the Minister of State, Secretary General at the Presidency, Ferdinand Gongo, leaves the Bishop House in Boya, the story of some of these protesters currently be arrested is raising concerns in Boya and beyond.
I've not been informed. I also heard from social media that people were involved on that day that have been arrested. I have not been informed officially. I don't know whether it is true or false. But when I heard it over the social media, it was I thought I'm going to meet the governor to find out if it is true. And if people were arrested, then we'll have to find out why were they arrested.
At the moment, the mother of late Enojale Carolis is receiving some psychological attention out of town, family members revealed to Equinoxe television.
And still within the framework of government's efforts and the efforts of all stakeholders to ensure that children, young people, mothers, fathers are no longer killed, properties destroyed in the two English-speaking regions of the country. Honorable Bengala Gerard, Member of Parliament for Donga Mantum Center constituency, is on a peace mission to the United States of America and is met with some stakeholders who are over there, and of course with the embassy, the ambassador of the Republic of Cameroon to the United States. And he said that the ambassador reassured him that efforts have been made in terms of negotiating with those on the other side, those asking for cessation and independence of former British Southern Cameroon. Take a listen to Honorable Bengala Gerard.
We can really visit the ambassador here and not talk about the crisis that is happening in North and South, since we have some of those protagonists living here in the United States. So it's most important that I share some views with the ambassadors on what is happening. And I'm very impressed with what the ambassador has told me about some ongoing negotiation. I won't disclose them here because it's still ongoing. But also the fact that he has given me hopes on how he is intending to contribute to bringing back peace to Cameroon, and also encouraging me towards what I've been doing to make sure that peace reigns in Northwest and in Cameroon in particular. So I think we've exchanged views about the ongoing crisis. And in the days ahead, I think some actions will be taken, and to make sure that our brothers who were once lost should be found. They should realize that Cameroon is one indivisible. Like any other country, we have problems, but our problems cannot be solved through radicalization of the young ones. Problems cannot be solved by stopping children from going to school. So I'm very, very happy with the views and the information that the ambassador has given me. And I think in the days ahead, a lot will happen. And I'm calling on my brother because here in the US I happen to have talked to most of them, and I'm happy that most of them started realizing that Cameroon will always remain one and indivisible. But now it's for all of us to come and make sure that peace return to Cameroon, and to make sure that those boys in the bushes come out. The head of state has created centers, digital centers for them. They should come out and be integrated into the society. So I'm very, very happy about our discussions concerning the crisis in the North and the Southwest.
And this is where we draw the curtains on the first part of this newscast. Talking Point is up next. Our guest today is a plastic waste management and recycling expert, Eric Ambo. You're welcome.
Thank you, Babla Jonathan.
All right, with you, we're going to be talking about one of the most dangerous threats to the environment, plastic waste. And in Cameroon today, especially in the big cities, there is this problem of indiscriminate waste disposal, and plastic is one of those waste that is disposed just everywhere around and having a serious impact on the environment. What do you think? What's your analysis of the situation of indiscriminate waste of plastic and the impact on the environment?
Babla Jonathan, thank you very much. I want to say that it is a problem not only in Cameroon but in Africa at large, because when the consumers of plastic waste, when they go by, if they are not well sensitized on how to get to return it back and for it to be recycled, now this will make the consumers, they will just deposit the plastic waste just anyhow, and they don't know the danger of this plastic and how dangerous it is to humanity. A plastic bottle, when littered on the environment, it takes close to 450 to 1,000 years for it to decompose, and it's dangerous, very dangerous to human life and on Earth. So I believe that if consumers are well educated and sensitized on how to manage this plastic waste and how to get to return it properly, I believe it's going to go a long way to reduce the amount of plastic waste we have in Cameroon, and why not in Africa.
And the management of plastic waste, away from individuals who throw the plastic waste just everywhere, the management of the waste collection, recycling seems to be very, very poor.
Yeah, certainly it is very, very poor in Cameroon, and why not in Africa at large. Where I'm coming from, in Northern Europe, Estonia, they do manage plastic waste properly, so much so that if a consumer goes and return it to a collection point, he gets a money for returning the plastic waste, and he uses a machine to do that. I believe that it's a very good initiative that if it's being implemented in Cameroon, and a company takes up this initiative in such a way that they go into partnership with these brewery companies that produces water and so on, and there's a machine that is being installed in shops whereby if a consumer buys a plastic water, let's say he buys it for 500 francs and he pays additional 25 francs on the money that he buys the plastic water, and by the time he goes to a shop where there's a machine, he goes and returns it by himself and take a check from the machine and goes to the shop and buys something. I believe it will encourage consumers to keep the plastic waste, not just throw it on the environment, and it will help to reduce the amount of plastic waste that is being littered on from the environment. So it's an initiative that I came.
Tell us more about that initiative. What should be done in Cameroon to improve on the management of plastic waste and to turn down the toxic consequence on the environment and human life?
First of all, I came to Cameroon. I organized a workshop with the PCC and presented, because I work in a company back there that recycle plastic cans and bottles. In this workshop, I exposed a new method in which plastic can be collected and recycled, and consumers will not, or they will have some money from it. Because nowadays in Africa, in Cameroon, what I understand is that when people collect plastic, they just throw it anyhow, and when they go even to go to and return it, these companies, they pay them little or no money, so they are not encouraged to keep their plastic to go and return it. But the method I came and introduced with the PCC, with the workshop that I held, if you buy a plastic bottle and you go to a shop to return it, you get some money out of it. And how does this happen? the company goes into a partnership with this company that produces soft drink, and the barcode is being made in such a way that if you go to a machine and return your plastic, you get some money out of it. So it's a very good initiative that the PCC have decided that, okay, they are going to take up this and make sure that the machines that are concerned, if you go and return a plastic, you can get some money out of it. I believe this initiative is brought in Cameroon, and consumers are well sensitized on how to manage their plastic waste, a plastic bottle, and keep it and go to a shop and return it and get some money out of it. I believe they'll be encouraged, because a consumer will be happy if he goes to a machine to return the plastic bottle and he sees his money. When he return it, he sees it reaching the 25 francs, he return and the money doubles, and he gets a check and go by himself into a shop and either use that check to buy food item or go to the counter and collect back his money. I believe the person will be encouraged to keep as many plastics as possible and not dispose it out there in the environment.
And that's as far as management is concerned. Now, when if this happens and the indiscriminate waste or disposal of plastic waste is reduced, now the waste that is brought back to the I don't know, to the company or to the producers should be recycled.
Yeah, it should be recycled. I believe there are companies in Douala here that do recycle plastic bottles. The point is, when these plastic bottles are collected, they are being put into cubes by these companies and it's being sold out of the country. There are companies out there in Europe, in Asia, that transform this plastic bottle into different items.
So the recycling must not necessarily take place here.
Yeah, it must not necessarily take place here. Yeah, it can be exported. There are companies that collect the waste in Douala that they put it into cubes, and they either make it into flakes and granite, and it's been exported, or they send it to a company that come out with the whole bottle, or it can be sold outside of the country, and the company out there recycle or produces new product from the plastic. Apart from the plastic bottles, we can get this t-shirt that football players put on the field. 7 to 10 plastic bottles come out with a football t-shirt. We have blankets, we have carpet, we have plastic bangles, pens. They do come out from plastic bottle. And apart from that, this plastic bottle, it's very important. We can use it to make different items. Handcraft, you can make a boat, you can make a house, so many things out of plastic. But the problem is, our consumers, Cameroonians, they are not well educated and informed on the importance of plastic, on how to manage plastic bottles and what can come out of it.
But wouldn't it be more profitable in terms of job creation and income generation if there are 1, 2, 3 or more companies doing the recycling here?
Yeah, certainly it will bring a lot of jobs and income generation. And like I said, I know of a company in Douala that collect the plastic, put it in cubes and transform it into, make it into flakes, and come out with plastic bottles that are being blown up into tubes that are being blown up into full whole plastic. But I believe when they do that, they send it to the company that the size of a bottle that the company wishes. I'm sure they have machines that they blow it. But I believe that if one, like you said, if more than one company is involved in that, if they do set up a company that not only collect the plastic bottles but transform it here in Cameroon and produces other products, I believe it will be a very good initiative. But first thing first, I believe we should have a system whereby consumers should be aware and the plastic bottles are collected and they know that they can go and return it and get money out of it. I believe if this is set up and consumers know that, okay, I can go and return my bottles, I should not expose it or throw it in the environment just anyhow because it's a hazard, it causes harm to the environment. I believe from there, when the company started growing, they say, okay, rather than us exporting the raw material to other companies that produces the finished good, let us now transform it here.
Yeah. But that would definitely require a lot of sensitization, communication, because it also has to do with change of mindset.
Yeah, change of mindset, and it's really a problem. And I'm very happy with the monitor of PCC, the Right Reverend Funky Somewhere, for accepting this initiative, for opening the doors of the church for me to have this seminar, and they are willing and very eager to partner with my company back there and to make sure that this comes to reality. consumers should be aware, because I believe the church have a wide range of population that they can reach to. We have congregations, it is planted everywhere. I believe if the sensitization is taken out there to churches and schools and other areas of the church, I believe the consumers will be aware, and if the company goes operational, it's going to be very important for the church, and why not Cameroon at large.
All right, thank you, Eric Ambu, plastic waste and recycling management expert. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Paula Jonathan. I'm happy to be here.
Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for staying with us. That's it for today. Coming up from the nation's political camp, the Yaoundé La Presse. So dispute, and after that, Equinoxe. Stay with us.